Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. I'm coming today with I hope a short, not gonna say I hope a short message, but I will say a message. And it's for he that has an ear to hear. Um, and I know the ones that the Most High has given the ear to hear are also the elects of the Most High Yah. That I do know. Okay. Um, this topic is going to surround what was given to me when I was in the shower this morning, and a lot of other issues that's actually taking place that a lot of us are going to and for, uh, trying to get some really understanding of really where we're at and what is actually going on. And this here was put before me in the water when I was taking a shower. It says much teaching, much books, and much history. Let me say what it said again. Let me repeat it. It says much teaching, much books, much history. So as I was drying off after I got out of the shower, I started to feel the understanding of why and what was actually being said. Because I wanted to apply this first to myself. When the Most High speaks to his prophets and his prophetess, we must first apply it to ourselves. Not to say that he's saying that we fall under that category. He's not saying that. And in some cases he is saying exactly that. But in many of the cases, he just pretty much wanting us to understand what is before the people, okay? And what is actually taking place as we speak today. Okay, much teaching, much books, and much history. He's saying to me that, Deborah, they got a lot of teachings, and a lot of teachings, and a lot of teachings, meaning many pastors, many bishops, many priests, many seers, many watchmen, many mooring, many evangelists, many prophets, and many prophetess. What he's saying when he said much teaching is we're in a time where you got many voices that's going to and fro, and they're being successfully, how would I say it, drilling in a sense, drilling people in what they're actually teaching. Okay, so when he said much, he's saying to me too much. When he said much books, too much. When he says and much history, too much, to where he's saying that with all our teaching and all our books and all our history, he says they are still lost without a cause. That's deep for me, because I'm saying, you mean in spite of all this is out there for them, in which they feel is for them, he said that they are still lost without a cause. He says, like going into the middle of the ocean, swimming, or following someone into the center of the ocean, the middle of the ocean, and desiring to get back to dry land and can't, because you didn't swam too deep. He never intended for us to go out into the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, and be out there and then desire to come back onto dry land. He says it's going to be very hard for those that have swam so far out to be with their teachers, with their books, and with their history, to where they can't even swim back to dry land. They can't. It is hard. It's going to be very, very hard because they swim too far out. They have swam entirely too far out from dry land. Dry land is who the Most High Yah is. He on dry land. He's on dry land. And that's what the dry land represents. So when the Spirit is talking to me regarding the teaching, that when he speaks it to me, I am very aware of that. I feel the same way within myself as a spirit and in flesh on the earth, where I'm actually beholding what he's saying. So I know that it is such a high level of teaching and a high level of books being put before people and history being put before people to people he said is lost without a cause. Now this is what he wants me to cover. He said that the reason why they lost without a cause is because they have made this whole thing of life on earth and everything there is that was created about them as a people. He said they don't understand that everything was before them. See, before Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, there was. Before heaven and earth, there was. So how can everything surround a people and be about the people and the people themselves when everything took place before the foundation of the world? What he's saying is they have swam so far out in the deep, they can't even make it to the dry land in wisdom and knowledge and the blessed understanding that comes through the Ruach HaKodesh. They can't even get it because they've swam, and he said many have gotten comfortable out in the deep to where they have gotten, their mind has gotten set. The heart is so hardened, waxed in what they have taken on while they were heading toward the middle of the ocean and where they're at. And it makes so much sense, especially to me because I'm in the wilderness. And the things that he's allowing me to behold while in the wilderness, you have to understand I'm flesh and I'm spirit. So therefore, I get the opportunity to see it two ways, spiritual and natural. Okay. And what I'm understanding is the reason why he said without a cause is because he knows that he has set everything there for us. He has kept the light on since Genesis, that it may turn the light, the flaming sword, it may turn all ways that we may find our way to the tree of life, to spirit and truth. These things that he has prepared before the foundation of the world. He wanted me to say that people have made this about them and them only. He said that the people are not, they claim to be awakened when they are ignorant. He said they're not awakened to anything outside of what they desire to believe in their flesh, because it's no spiritual connection in their awakening. And that makes a lot of sense to me as well, because like I'm saying, I'm spirit and I'm flesh. I know who I am in the spirit and I know who I am in the flesh, and I know the difference. You know, that's what was said in the book of Genesis. Man has have now knowing the difference. Right today, in the year of 2020, 99.9 on these platforms and those that follows do not know the difference and the power that rests therein in the book of Genesis, when he said, man now knowing good and evil. But except he reached for the tree of life, and the tree of life always had a flaming sword that turns all ways that we may find our way. But what happened is, in the last 15 to 20 years, it has been a new denomination then creeped in, and it's called the Hebrew Israelites. And they have made it a movement more than spirit and truth. It does not rest on spirit and truth. It does not give Yah all praises and all glory. It does not worship Yah. It speaks of Yah, but that's just about every religion on the face of the earth. They have something that leads the congregation and the people in their direction. And this is no different. And this one here is a little bit kind of sad, because they have made everything the Most High Yah stand for, stood for, and about them. They have forsaken not only his word that comes out of his mouth, they've forsaken his will. And when I say forsaken his will, that means when he has willed everything in the order, in a direction that before the foundation of the world, he didn't will it from the beginning to the end. We have forsaken it in understanding in our flesh that we are so far bent than we are straight. You see? And we the word is there, but we have forsaken it. We have forsaken what comes out of the mouth of Yah and have turned to what comes out of the mouth of man, not understanding that that's how our forefathers have done it since the beginning of time. They believed everything that came out of the mouth of man and allowed it to override every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. And for that reason, yes, they are lost without a cause. That's why it's so easy for them to go out in the deep. That's why you see the multitude following Catholic churches, the multitude following the Pope, the multitude following Christian. That's why it's so easy to follow and go out in the deep. Once they get out there, they stop because they can't find their way. They need something that draw them back to the dry land. The dry land worships spirit and truth. The dry land is Yahuwah. The dry land is Yeshua HaMashiach. The dry land is the Ruach HaKodesh. You know, the dry land holds blameless. The dry land is faith. The dry land is endurance. The dry land is long suffering. The dry land is where we need to reside to continue to walk in this life today. So that's why the gate is going to be narrow. That's why a small remnant. That's why very few shall find their way. It's because the few that's going to find their way going to stick to dry land, because on dry land they can survive. But out in the deep, you can't survive. And that's what he's saying to me when he says much teaching, much books, and much history. Because he said we have gotten lost in spirit and truth. We make this thing about a tribe, or the Hebrew Israelite and the tribe of Judah. We make this whole everything from the beginning to the end of the Father's creation about us. And that's a lie from a pit called hell. Because before the foundation of the world, there was a war in heaven, you guys. This thing ain't about Hebrew Israelites. It is about a war between good and evil. And it's being played out down on the earth. The Hebrew Israelite and the tribe of Judah are pieces that's on the chessboard. It plays a role on the what? The chessboard. Who made the board? Yahuwah. Who are those parts that's on it? Those are the chosen ones that he has chosen out of his own bosom to be his children. Okay? To be his bride. Okay? So therefore, every piece that's on this board, okay, was placed on this board by the one that created the board. Now, even though the devil got his pieces on the board, because the board was created by the Most High Yah. Now his pieces is on the board, forever losing, getting crushed, his head getting crushed by who? The pieces that Yah had the seed in to crush their heads. But does that cause the devil to lose out 100? Yes, he is constantly on the board playing the game and constantly tampering with the steps that has been ordered for the pieces that's on the board. All I don't know if you all caught that, but you should have. But like I say, things are more so spirit than it is natural. So 99.9 won't catch that. But the devil tends to stop the seed that has been ordered, steps that has been ordered by the seed, by moving in places to keep the seed from moving. But what happened? The victory of who Yah is that has the woman seed, it crushes the head, meaning the plans of the devil. 24. We're sitting here waiting for victory, and we're thinking there is a people called Hebrew Israelites really believe their main focus is destroying Babylon and walking on into New Jerusalem, as if they ain't done nothing and they all good to go. They don't understand. They got to be found blameless in so many things. They don't understand anything. And if the Most High is really considered to many of you all to be the type of person who's going to let you all by with what you're doing now, he sent his prophets still in the year 2020 and telling you all, oh, stand down. That's not right. You can't do that. And you still do it. Even greater than your forefathers. So he said that they have made this whole beginning and end of his will that he already predestined from the beginning to the end. Even before Yeshua HaMashiach came on, he predestined it. He had already finished it, you guys. When he spoke it, that 7 day was completed. Okay? He's resting in that place in which he's going to bring down to the earth. While we're still running around trying to make this about Hebrew Israelites and a chosen people. And we don't understand. We're waiting for this United States of America. We're waiting for it to come down, and we don't even understand. We won't even be here. The things that we're about to face in this birthing process, many going to fall. Many going to fall. And we're sitting here preparing thousands of people for something that they're not going to even live to see. Instead of preparing their spirit, hallelujah, preparing their spirits right now for the kingdom of the Most High God. From the inside out, not the outside in which they have taught you all on these platforms, and you all have gotten content. So the platform itself is like the ocean, and you all are out there. You can't come back to dry land because your mind is set in the order in which they have manipulated you to believe. This is not about Hebrew Israelites, because the same measurements. See, we want to make him unjust. We want to make him unrighteous. You see, we want to make him everything that he is not. He got to remain just. He got to remain righteous in our hearts, you guys. Not just in our fleshly heart, but in our spiritual heart. In our spiritual mind, we got to remember to keep him just and righteous. He is nothing separate from that. Meaning you can't make him unrighteous. You can't make him unjust. You can't go around here doing the things that you're doing and feeling that, okay, no matter what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I'm the righteous one. I'm the child. I'm Israel. You know, I'm Jacob and Isaac and Abraham's seed. You know, those sort of things. And fail to realize this creator had a plan before Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob even stepped on earth. So it tells you, it makes everyone on here a lie when they want to make the people think it's about the Hebrew Israelites. You got it wrong. You're just pieces on the chessboard in which he has created. Even the chessboard that's on the other side that plays against him is created by him. So while you're on this chessboard trying to manipulate the pieces as if his hand don't have no control and no destiny, his hand has already ordained, predestined every piece on the board before the board was created. Who's the owner of the creator? Of the board? Who's the owner of the board? Who is the inventor of the board? The Most High God. How dare you think you're going to get on this board and you're going to dictate from the beginning to the end in the way it should go? Yes, You have manipulated thousands, hundreds, by great numbers to believe that this is all about Hebrew Israelites and the tribe of Judah. Your part in it is just pieces on the board. You get what I'm saying? But even everything that's on the board is going to be tried by fire. Hallelujah. Every piece that's on the board is going to be judged with what? Righteous and justice. So when we sit and we tell them that, oh, they did this to us and they did this to us, and he's going to reverse that. He's going to reverse that on the earth. But righteous and justice is coming, therefore. That means that you're going to think that it's all about, it's somewhere in it that they think that, okay, we're just the perfect. We can kill each other. We can curse each other. We can steal from each other. We can batter each other. We can fight with each other. We can tear up each other belongings. We can take from our neighbors. We can break every commandment that exists. But yeah, we're walking into the New Jerusalem. That's the manipulated mind that have they trained many on this devil platform. And they have made the will of the Father, how would I say it, not acceptable in the eyes of the people. So they have they have switched it from a war from heaven to a lifestyle that means that they are the angels and everybody else is devils. The same judgment against the heathens and the Gentiles is going to be measured against the Hebrew Israelites. Or they're not going to teach you that. All they want you to do is keep focus on a new denomination in the last 20 years that says we are the people. We are so righteous. With me being in the wilderness, I see him face to face. I see his movement. I see his action. I feel what he's saying. I can hear what he's saying. I can think what he's saying. And when he sent Jeremiah to say something to me, I can hear Jeremiah. When he sent Moses to say something to me, I can hear Moses. When he sent anyone in the Abraham, I can hear Abraham. So I'm saying I'm in a place. I'm in the wilderness where he show up and show out. A lot of them didn't teach you all that. See, if people think, they say to me, oh, and sister, you got to get out of the wilderness. No, I'm going to die in that wilderness. I'm going to rest there until he called my name, come to New Jerusalem. And let me tell you something. That's going to be just what I'm preparing for. I'm not sitting here waiting for no Babylon to come down, because 99.9 on these platforms are going down with Babylon, because being on these platforms, the way these people are on here, that's what you call all up in her. And no one never thought when he said, are you going to receive her plagues? Who is her plagues? As if she got something up her sleeve that's going to backfire on her. And that's what's going on. When you all think it's the Most High, it's him allowing what her plagues for a people to backfire on her. And those that are following her, which is 99.9 on these platforms, when they're saying, I can't say this and I can't say this, we got to watch what we say. You know why? Because a lot of them are getting a few dollars. This is a nation that will sell out their mama, their daddy, their children, their everything in the name of a dollar. This nation is known to do that. It sold the Most High Yah out after he brought them out of a land. They were in slavery and in bondage. Do you think that if I was in prison for 10 years, for 5 years, I'm going to come out worse than I was when I was in there? No. Instant when they got to the wilderness, they began to relay a different personality. It wasn't that he didn't know who they were. That's why they were in captivity for so long. He heard their cries, but it was something he wanted them to understand about themselves. So I'm saying to you today, the Most High want you to understand about who you are as a people, as an individual in him. You see what I'm saying? Because if you get tied up in this here unity just spoken in the minds, it's manipulating everybody's mind. They're not in unity, because 99.9 on these platforms are hating against each other. They're hating against the group they came from. They're hating against the group they're in. They're hating against the group that they used to be with. They're hating against the group that they started with. They're hating against females. They're hating against males. They're hating against the young ones, and the elders hating against the older. This is a nation of people that anytime you have forsaken the creator that loved you, you're going to forsaken any and everybody, even husband would toward their wives and the children hating on each other, hating on their parents hating on their children, all kind of that's why you think everything the Most High said for us not to do. Why do you think that our nation is doing the opposite? But we on these platforms pretending as if we're the gift to the whole world. Yes, we were that. But have we represented that? No, we haven't. That's why he said he's coming. He's going to put the poor in spirit. I love that poor in spirit. He's going to put something in them. He's going to give a new name, and he's going to put something in them. The heart is going to be changed. You see? So you see that what we at in our mind today is not what he's looking for, you guys. He's not looking for what we are in our fleshly mind today. That's why he's talking about converting those that's poor in spirit in others, that he already know who they are in their heart, their spiritual heart. Because they have been able to identify, wait a minute, I have a spirit, and my spirit is something about me that loves this creator. A lot of you all on these devil platforms are loving these lessons. You're loving those who are teaching you. You're loving their pages. You're liking and you're subscribing, and you're loving the idea that I can say something so they can hear me, or I can speak my mind. You ain't got no mind. Because that mind that's in you, if it ain't in spirit and in truth, it is lost still without a cause. So I understand the Most High when he says teaching much book. No, he said much teaching, much book, and much history. Because even in the history, it has gotten lost. Why? Because everyone is teaching their own self-understanding and got the multitude following. Why do you think he said a great falling away? Do you think he's talking about to the Catholics, to the Pope? No, he's talking about a great falling away amongst a people that was chosen. We want to claim that this book is speaking of us. Yes, it is. And if you read from Genesis to Revelation, all of it is ugly in how we conduct ourselves. And guess what we had? We had instructions and guidelines. We had instructions and directions to help us along the way. We had the sword lit to show us our way to the tree of life. We had everything there possibly could be given unto us. And yet, even to today, we still loster than we were yesterday. Why? Because we've been given so much. It's like a father that has spoiled his children, just giving them so much. Now he's to the point where he's going to have to show up and show out in the way that he knows that would work. And the only way that would cause people to come from out of the middle of the ocean, desire to swim back so he can reach and get them and bring them back to dry land, is to allow the judgment to come right here on earth to a people. So he can hear their cries. He can hear their pleas. He can hear the repentance. Everything that I bring before you is not of mine. No, my job is not to come here, and I've been doing a lot of studying today, and it has been really good, really good. But I realized all my life that I could really teach up some stuff. But you know, I would rather go the route of spirit and truth. A lot of people say, if you're not quoting this and precepting and lying and little here, and you ain't showing it in this book, let me tell you something. Tell me what book do the Ruach HaKodesh come out of? He's to teach you all things. But did he say what he's going to teach you, where it's going to really come from? See, Paul, Mark, and Luke, and John, you never saw them walking around with the book. They always said what they heard from the old, but you didn't hear them say, okay, back in the old, in Kings, 2 Kings, they didn't have to use that. Why? Because because they had the Ruach HaKodesh that knew all things and had blessed them to be able, when that Ruach come in you, which is the Spirit of the Most High, not just any Ruach, but the Spirit of the Most High. When it comes into you, he don't have to prove this here. He don't have to precept this. He don't have to line. He don't have to little this. He's supposed to speak it. And see, that's why I said it's sad that this newfound denomination has taught so many people to believe and trust in the words in which they can precept and line and little here, Esdras, all these different books, and so on and so on. And when you finish with it all, without the Ruach HaKodesh, you still lost without a cause. Because its mission is to teach you all things. Deborah, what level of is this Spirit going to teach me? Where it's going to come from, where it's going to teach me where I can sit under. It's coming inside of you guys, in here, in your spirit. And it's going to teach you from the inside out, not the outside in. This book is good as an instructions and a direction. It is instructions in here and directions from the Most High Yah. Now, man has placed their viewpoint and what they stand for, what they believe in, what they want to say, also in here. But you have to be able to separate what man is saying and what Yahuwah is saying. If you're not able to separate the two, you need to sit down and stop acting like a clown, because this has to be rightly divided. What everything man says in here has to be divided by pressing it up against what the Most High Yah has said and see it. Are you saying what came out of the mouth of Yah, or are you saying what comes out of the mouth of man, which is the mind and the heart of man? That's why it's so many different denominations. That's why so many different beliefs. Because no one wants to do it under the righteousness of the Most High Yah. See, they want to do it the way they want to do it. They want to claim it and portray it the way that they want to portray it. But this is a good instruction. It has good instructions and good directions. That's what the law and the commandment is, instructions and directions. It has it here. It's in here. But everything that's out of in here, it's not out of the mouth of Yah. Do you know I can get in here? Let me show you an example. Let's go to Genesis 49. Let's go to Genesis 49. And I'm going to show you how the difference between the way you're taught and the way I'm taught, okay? And the way I'm taught through the Spirit, okay? And the way you're taught through the Spirit. Genesis 49. We're going where Jacob. Now listen to Jacob. Genesis 49, Jacob says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Now, when I see this here, I don't see it like you see it. Whether it's in a King James or 1611 or whatever, it's words that he has taught me through the Spirit. He said, behold, the stars and that's in the book and the letters that slant out of order. And what he's saying is you can have a whole paragraph that's going this way, but you're going to have a word that's standing up like this. He said, meditate on that because it holds a mystery. That's how he teach me. And then when he's going and tell me, I read 49 and I hear Jacob is actually telling them, his sons, y'all come on together. Gather yourself together, meaning come together. Come together. I don't want one coming. I don't want four coming. And four is still left in there. Come together. That's Jacob speaking. Where have you all been? When have you all formed together? You ain't going to. Jacob was the seed of the woman that crushed the serpent head and completed his mission. Where are you? Which seed are you? The serpent has seeds as well. And yes, many of the Hebrew Israelites are considered the serpent seed. So in here, when I see Jacob saying, gather yourself together that I may tell you, and then I see a slant in the word that. I see that slant. So the Most High saying is the potent a material Jacob is about to say to them is just that potent through eternal. That means that what he's about to say, that Deborah, what he's about to say, that Deborah, what he's about to say is potent. Now this is what he said. Which shall befall you in the last days. So he's calling these sons together, telling them to gather yourself, come together. I don't want 2 or 3. I don't want 5 or 6 or 8. Get together, come to me right now, so I can tell you that for sure what is going to be befall you in the last days. Now watch this here. In this here, I can tell you. Now I want y'all to watch this. Watch this. That he had problems gathering them together. He didn't have problems. They had problems being obedient. Just as today. They really believe that books are missing. Word is missing from them. Things have been taken from them. No. This spirit and truth rests here. Only way it can manifest itself if you open up your spirit heart to it and let it come and abide in you and teach you all things and show you things to come and be your comforter. But somewhere on them ships, when they came on back, they were so caught up in so much sin that they were so loaded in, they didn't release none of that. They held it coming on the ships all the way over to all these different 4 corners of the earth in their captivity, to where they had forgotten Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why now in the last 20 to 15 years, they finding something out new. But they never found out that, hey, y'all had forsaken Yah when you was over here, because he was always in the inner man, not on the outer. You see? So if no matter what they done to us and how they done it, because he was prophesied that this is what our consequences was. But the Most High want me to say this to you. I want you men out there to understand one thing that you fail to inform these people of. That the same person and people, the way these people treated you, Yah saw that in you before you even got over in this land. He brought you in a land that was unlike unto the way you was reacting in the land of milk and honey that was promised to you. That's why this land that he came in, he didn't hinder them from anything, because you all had portrayed many of those things in the land of milk and honey. You didn't think he knew, did you? That's why it's a lot of mystery and power in this word. These men ain't gonna teach it. They came way over here in ships. They ain't gonna teach it. They ain't gonna own up to it. And they said somebody took something from you. Say, for instance, if you was in that ship, you all should have been even able to speak Hebrew to one another, hum hymns on them ships, say things to keep energizing each other and lifting up and praising Yah. Did you do that? No, you didn't. That's why when you got over here now, you come to 20 years from now, oh, they took something from us, or they did this, they did. Hey, you keep forgetting. You came here from the right hand of the Father, not the right hand of the white man. And you all keep forgetting to teach spirit and truth. And that's why you will not teach the people about the light that's in them, that's willing them to teach them truth. And when the Most High comes to me in the shower and he teaches me, tells me in the spirit, my much teaching, much books, much history, and all of it is vain and vexed, because you all on these platforms and elsewhere in the churches and in the buildings and in the temples refuse to teach spirit and truth. Because you first have to teach the man from the spirit man and let it manifest itself through the flesh. You all want to get on this devil platform and get a quick check from the devil himself, just to mislead and deceive the people. And the Most High gonna stand there and let you, like he let them ride you on out into the ships and bring you here into a land where you at now. And you're still hooping and hollering without changing. Not one thing. Because the man is still teaching nonsense. Still refusing to teach the people about their inner man that connects to the Most High God. How do you expect them to connect with Yah because of your words and your teaching. This is what Yah is saying to my spirit. Deborah, too much teaching, too much books, too much history, and they are lost without a cause. Because the mission of the Ruach HaKodesh is to teach you all things. You think he come to teach your flesh? No, he's coming to teach your spirit. That your flesh might get under the subjection to your spirit. He ain't come to mess with your flesh. He come to teach your spirit. And they have forsaken these things to give unto you. And they have denied those that Yah has sent as yesterday, as their forefather. But they think this is all about them. Baby, this started before you. And because of what took place before the foundation of the world made him create what you see today. To bring it down to a level of a ground so it can play itself out. But it started here. And it wasn't about you. It wasn't about the Hebrew Israelites and the tribe of Judah. They've been lying to you just as the white man been stealing your history. Only thing about it, the Hebrew Israelites think they can give you a better history. And they have lied to you even more. Because your history rests before the foundation of the world. It rests in God. It's all about who he is, who he was, and who he shall be. It's all about his right hand of power. People been on this devil platform for 20 years and don't even know what the right hand of the Father is. Been on here for 20 years and don't even know the difference between Yeshua and Hamashiach. There's a difference. Once you put them together, because Yah willed them to work the mission together. And to become one, as he did with a man and a woman. He wanted you to work a mission that he created the both of you in one. But the man took off and ran after he didn't already sinned in the Garden of Eden before Eve even took on. But they ain't going to teach you that. They ain't going to teach you that Adam had already sinned. That's why it was easy for him to sit there and listen to her being deceived. She didn't have to tell him that. It's a lot of things in here. It's a lie, you guys. Man has really fixed this up. They have, but if you don't know no better. Because if you ain't tapped into your spirit, the only part that the Ruach HaKodesh and the Hamashiach are going to dwell in, he ain't dwelling in your flesh. Because what you don't understand, everything that the Most High does, flesh is going to try to imitate. He had a reason to create the rainbow. Look what they're using the rainbow for. Look at what they're using the rainbow for. Stop people from even buying the rainbow colors or anything because the world then took it and turned it their way. That's how easy we have turned and manipulated his word to be what we want it to be. Out of the flesh, these things are manifest. But in the spirit, they don't have that way. That's why it's important for you all out there to get in tune with your spirit. Because Yah is not going to be about your flesh and the ways of your flesh. These people telling you to wait on a Babylon. Now I want you to listen to this right here. In Genesis 49, when Jacob was telling them to gather together, he had a problem with them gathering together. Let me show you what I mean by that. Go to verse 2. Genesis 49, verse 2. After verse 1, Jacob was telling them to come together. Genesis 49 and 2, it says, gather yourself together. You know who's saying this to them? Do you know who stepped in on the scene? No, you don't know because they ain't taught you. Because they can't teach this thing. Because it was the mission of the Ruach HaKodesh to teach you all things. Not man. Not man. Okay? And verse 2 said, gather yourself together and hear, ye sons of Jacob. This is the Most High God ordering them to be obedient to their fathers. And come together right now. Listen to what the Most High said. Gather yourself together and hear, ye sons of Jacob. And when he said, and hear, that was a charge that he put there. Because 99.9 wasn't going to hear it. They wasn't going to hear what Jacob had to say because a lot of it wasn't pleasant. To give one glory, a blessing, and he going to give me this way? But the Most High was present at the last moment of Jacob's life, that he give this to the sons. See, y'all ain't never forsaken his. He didn't forsake Jacob. He was right there saying, Jacob, I got it. Stand down. I'm going to get this right here. And what he said in verse 2, gather yourself together and hear ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. That was Yah stepping in. You see, that's the difference in when you can hear the voice of Yah versus the voice of man. You can't hear the voice of Yah without his spirit, without his homicia. You cannot win. You can't win in this flesh. They lie to you and they're still lying to you. Yes, they give you good messages. Yes, they precept you down and up and round. Yes, they got Google of books. Who don't? Every religion was founded on books. Every religion was founded on precepts and lines and little here. And that's the ignorance even of our young men in the nation. They should be yearning for spirit and truth versus precepts and lines and little here. And I double dare you to try precepting every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. You'll find out you have to rewrite this whole book. It'll also let you know you ain't never known nothing. Because you'll realize, wait a minute, man then added this thing up and down and all around. When Yah chastised me, he goes take me straight to Genesis. Because he said that they didn't tamper with much, but Genesis is in stone. They can't hide from this. They make everything men do look good, look okay. But he said every good and evil thing is going to be judged by the Most High God. How can he say thou shalt not commit adultery? And if a man looking upon a woman, he has already committed adultery, but tell you can go to have many wives you want. Come on, y'all. Because you saw somebody in the Bible. You heard somebody in the Bible. Wait a minute. What did Yah say? Did Yah say, men, you can have as many wives as you please? Didn't Yeshua say, wait a minute, in the beginning, that wasn't so. Hold up. Have you read? Oh, no, they don't teach to it like that. Instead, the men roast the backs of other men. Oh, it's okay, man. You should do it. It's good. They get it in the Bible. They sinned in the Bible, but does it make it righteous? They killed in the Bible, and murdered in the Bible, but does it make it righteous? They ate their children, but does it make it righteous? Are you going to go do everything you see in the Bible? Or you see someone else doing and call it righteous? Do you know what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and them did? You never did. You never can see it. Why? Because when you under the Ruach HaKodesh, it teaches you all things. Let me tell you a set of example. I remember being up under it and I was like, wait a minute, now something wrong with this. Never did he want them to sell their children, their daughters. Soon as they come on a cycle, you selling it on down the line to some man so you can get some money. You selling her like cattle. How dare you say what the slave owners are doing when you've been doing it? Did not I say to you? The reason why God brought you to these four corners so you can get a taste of what you've been doing all along. And he has been allowing you to by just letting you do your evil. So everything you sit here and say that the slave owners did, you can go back to the Old Testament all the way to the New Testament, and you can see that you all, this nation of Israel and the tribe of Judah, you all been doing that for years. Been doing it for years. So it's a good thing he had his seed, because his seed was totally the opposite of what the children of the seed did, and the fathers of the other seeds that wasn't the seed, but yet was partaker because they were from the bloodline. But you all don't know the difference between the seed. You all still don't know because you all ain't got what it takes. There is people, even this one lady, she's so tied into the word and the scripture, so knitted, but she lost without a cause because she's going around thinking that she can quote the Bible up and down, back and front, and all around. When you finish, there's this one man called the Walking Bible. He'll slap that Bible all in her face to let her know she don't know nothing. There's people who can master that word But when you get to the point where you thinking that it's all what's in this book, and that's a lie from the pit of hell, because what comes out of the mouth of man is not 100 what comes out of the mouth of God. You all got to understand this thing. So I take heed to what the Most High said, and they're lost without a cause. So that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, it makes a lot of sense what he said, because he said they teaching, much books, and much history. I mean, what's the sense? And you still lost without a cause. What Solomon said, vanity, vexed. You don't get it, do you? All this man-made teaching is vexed. It means nothing. Only thing means something is what the Ruach HaKodesh teach you. And when he teach you, it ain't going to be from the outer man. It's going to be from the inner. Why, Deborah? Why? Because he said in all our getting, meaning you can get all your wisdom you want, you can get all your knowledge, but you better have that understanding. And that comes by the Ruach HaKodesh only. And only. Man can't give you that. That's why he said, don't put your trust in no man. If you want to give him $1 million, Deborah, and say here, trust him to hold it, surely let him hold it and trust him. But when it come down, what comes out of the mouth of Yah and his Ruach HaKodesh, trust only my spirit to be your teacher. Now, it's nothing wrong with sitting up under people and reading and listening and getting a good lesson. There's nothing wrong with that. But you better dissect it by what comes out of the mouth of Yah. And if it comes out of the mouth of Yah, he's subject to have given it to someone else. Then you can, but first of all, make sure it comes out of the mouth of Yah. And you know what? That Ruach, I heard this one young man say, we need to pray to the Father to help us to understand what did he say? His word. We need to pray. That's a good thing. No, he didn't say understand. Reveal what was, or something of that nature. But he failed to realize you don't need all that. You don't need all that. All you need to believe that his Ruach HaKodesh has a mission. Even Yeshua said, I must go so this here mission can come down to give you what you need. Because that mission is the Ruach HaKodesh. It's going to teach you and show you how you can reach for the tree of life, eat of it, and live. I just thank the Most High for having a plan to give new hearts out and a new name out, because he knows that this stuff that everybody's giving these people he know it ain't about nothing. That's why he's going to give it another name, because they slandering his name. They dragging it and they smearing it, and they don't even understand even that name is spirit and truth. So if a person is a student of the Ruach HaKodesh and the Hamashiach lives in them, okay, now greater is he that is in them than he that is in the world. It's nothing that person can say nor do that's going to change that. That person is now blameless. So if that person is taught by the Ruach, and the Ruach has taught them from a book like this, okay, and it's taught them to be in one, say China, and they call it something else, it don't matter. It's in tune spirit and truth, not in the name that China calls it versus what the Hebrew Israelites calls it. You see what I'm saying? You all don't understand this here, because you have made it the Most High. I'm going to sum this up right now. You have made it about your teaching, your books, and your history. And you fail to give people the number one thing. It's about the Most High God, and always be and always will be. Why? Because before anything exists, it was him. Anything that was, it was him. Anything that shall be, it was him. Anything that shall end, it is him. So how do we skip him and place the Hebrew Israelites in the tribe of Judah above any and everything? We lost. So when he said, Deborah, they lost without a cause, it's meaning that I've given them too much. They have had much teaching, much book, and much history. but they lost without a cause. Because all that they have is what man has embedded into their ears and into their minds and into their hearts, to where they haven't even been able to discern that they have a spirit, and their spirit is what communes with the Most High Yah. They got them thinking that you get on this YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and we got a movie called Patriot, and hear what we got to say, and it'll bring you closer to the Most High Yah. Nothing they say is going to bring you nearer or closer. Nothing Deborah can say can bring you nearer or closer, outside of the Ruach drawing you to the direction in which you shall go. And then they begin to teach you. Once you recognize that, I see that I need to be following Yah in spirit and truth, and you say that and you believe that, you pray about it, next morning you wake up, you'll see a difference. Then you'll see him talking to you in the midnight hours. You'll see when you turn and talk and turn, he begin to speak to you. You go into that bathroom, he begin to say things to you. You start your day off, he begin to talk to you throughout the day. That's that Ruach coming to speak to you, abide in you. And while you abide in him, how you gonna abide in him when they ain't teaching you nothing like that? And the next video is going to be the warning video, and it's going to be a pretty heavy one, because I'm going to begin to give you some warnings that which has been given to me from the Most High Yah, and it's kind of sad and hurting, but it's all real. So I, Sister Deborah, hope that you enjoyed what you heard, and always put the Most High first. Always put him at the beginning and at the end of everything. Say if you go to the store and you're in the cashier and y'all talking, let Yah be on the beginning of your conversation. Let Yah be the end of your conversation. If you have to go to the beautician, let Yah be the beginning of your conversation. Let Yah be the end of your conversation. I don't care where you go and who you are amongst. Let the Most High Yah be the beginning, and let the Most High Yah be the end of your conversation, and kick the curve, all this other stuff. Get out of the Hebrew Israelite movement so you can feel in you the Ruach HaKodesh and Yeshua HaMashiach living in you. Because you ain't going to feel it as long as you're on these platforms. Because that's what you call all up in her. When he said come out of her, that's what he's talking about, up in her. Because they say things that they want them to say. They speak things that they want them to speak. They limit spirit and truth because they don't want you all to know that. Because the moment they start speaking that, guess what? Boom, you out. Because they don't know spirit and truth. So the devil allowed them to stay on these platforms giving you dirt. It's people on here to give you dirt that's going around in the world. All the issues that's going on in the world, they give you dirt. They give you dirt, day and night. Even on the Sabbath, giving you dirt. Then have the audacity to tell you why you out marching. Didn't you just feed them a bunch of dirt for the last 2 or 3 years about what the white man had done? How males marry females, whites marry black men, and black men marry. All this dirt of hatred. That's what it all is. It's still hate. It don't make it no different. Don't y'all be that ignorant and think one hate is different than another hate. Not in the eyes of the Most High Yah. Hate is hate. And no matter who's speaking it, whether you're a Hebrew Israelite or you're a heathen or a Gentile or a European or whatever y'all want to call them, hate is always hate in Yah. And that's why I think it's sad. And I understand what he said. Teaching, much books, much history, but sit on here and listen to all these people talk all this hate and then talk about you like a dog when you out there fighting against the hate that has been portrayed to you. Now they're talking about you. Why are you out there marching? Why are you out there looting? Wait a minute. Did you feed them 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years of hate? Now you want to question why they out there acting like that? They're out there because that's all you gave them to act on. So that's what I'm saying. It's sad. And they sit and they download anything. If the devil is like this. I described it to it's like this. Let me see if you. Oh no, the devil is like this here. She got in trouble. They did this. He's forever hiding because she got people to hide him. Even in the midst of their thinking, they're revealing things to people about what Yah say, Yahuwah is saying. They still hiding. He got them, he's hiding behind this here, you guys. In every action he has, he uses this to hide behind on all these devil platforms. And they successful get away with it and get a check at the end of the month. But yet they say that you better come out of Babylon, and y'all said this and y'all said that. How dare you, you hypocritical mindsets. They so tuned in teaching you that y'all is after the Europeans and the heathen. No, the battle ain't never been a race. The battle been good and evil. That's what he's after. And don't let them keep manipulating and lying to you all. All right, Sister Deborah says, I love you. Shalom and shalom. I'm a good person.